Tonight on Hotspot, we take a look at the sport of lawn bowls and the recent men's Pennant tournament that was held in Port Moresby.
Not done it. Hey. Not done it. Hey.
In Rugby League, after 15 years, Wagitumbo will make their debut in this year's Digital Cup. We preview round 11 of the Telikom National Soccer League. And as always, we wrap up the show with our weekend draws. Moving right along, 20 primary schools in Port Moresby have registered for this year's Junior AFL competition. 60 teams will take the field in 5 respective divisions for round 2 this weekend at Murray Barracks. The increase in schools' participation is evident in the successful rollout of AFL PNG's new kick program.
And, we're very interested in to see the interest growing in the number of schools taking part in the school competition. And we can see that the new kick program itself is really engaging in the schools that we have gone to have really keen interest in the schools for the students in taking part in the school competition. This year we've registered in the school competition, and a few schools, new schools such as Bomana Primary School, Bavaroko Primary School, Ekivaki, Oladem, few like clubs outside of the school, like Lepwin Cocofoes, Reke Cats, who are very interested in taking part in the school competition this year. In the school competition in Port Moresby, we got about 4 divisions. Actually 5 divisions: the under 12 boys, the under 13 boys, under 15 boys, and the under 17 boys, which is be commencing in 2 weeks' time, including the under 15 girls competition. We have a big interest in those the IAS schools, especially Murray, Pomis, the Gordon's International, which they really want the new kick program. But fact is that we normally run the clinics with them, the skills and the fun games with them, but they really wanted to do something a bit more competitive. So we decided to have a proposed competition for them, I think somewhere in May, for them to have a mini competition for the under 12 boys, under 13 boys, and the under 13 girls. Also, during the competition, we'll do a selection for them to go over to Lear. In caving, they have a Lear challenge which are schools in caving, especially international schools that play against each other. I just returned back from caving after facilitating a basic coaching course with them, and we've seen a massive interest along the Bloomsteep Highway right up into Caving town, and we've seen the similar in Ley and Kerama, which most of the schools and the communities have getting interest into the new kick program, which not only teaches the skills and for the AFL game, but also sends a strong message on health lifestyles and healthy lifestyles, plus the positive social development with our participants in New Kick. When I was in caving for the basic coaching course, we decided a proposed oval at somewhere in Lemakot. In Lemakot, there's a missionary station there, which is hospital. But we got an oval there that we're proposing to have a competition there, and which will accommodate around 6 schools. So caving will now have 2 competitions, one in town area and one will be along the highway area.
We wish all the teams taking part the best this weekend. We head out for our first break tonight. Up next, we take a look at the sport of lawn bowls and the inclusion of Wagitumbo in this year's Digital Cup.
Not done it. Not done it.
Welcome back to Hotspot. A sport once considered for the oldies is seeing the emergence of young guns like 18-year-old Gariga Babona. Unlike traditional football and team sports in the country, lawn bowls have only 6 registered clubs and participate in national tournaments rather than competitions. Let's take a look. Clubs from Bulolo, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Tabobil and Leh have all forged their forces to compete in this year's men's Pennant title in Port Moresby. Among the participants was lead bowler of the Defence Bowling Club, 18-year-old Gariga Babona.
Firstly, it's challenging, but at the same time, it's a good learning point for me, not only in sport, but family life and social life, how you relate well with other players, how you respect people. That's what bowling is about. It's not just about coming and playing, but it's about respecting your elders, it's about respecting the family, and it helps maintain the social life that you have.
When did you start bowling?
I started in 2008, but I wasn't very serious about it because I was very young at that time. But continuous visits to the club has made me interested in playing bowling.
Who inspired you in taking up bowling as a sport?
Well, in every family, children learn from their parents. So my parents inspired me to play bowling because they were very keen in playing the sport.
Have you been to any competitions outside of Port Moresby?
Yes, I have. In 2009, Darwin for the Arafura Games. 2012, we went to Goroka for the National Men's Pennant, and in 2014 we went down to Leh for the PNG Games.
How was the PNG Games for you?
Well, for the PNG Games, it was, personally, I think it was just another bonus in my life. Like, it was another learning point for me, but more the sport was, more the event promoted me a bit, so yeah.
So I hear you in the train-on squad for the PNG Games for the Pacific Games in July. How has preparations for you been going?
Preparation is going very well. There has been a national events being put up by the PNG Bowls Association, like the men's master singles in Goroka and then the men's pennants in defense. So I think these are the opportunities that the players in the national squad need to take in order to be in the national team for the final selection.
Unlike other physical contact sports that have craved a bigger following, young Gariga is using the sport as a tool to socialize and build his association with fellow bowlers around the country. This year's title saw the absence of Medang Bowls Club. Leh was out to defend their title for another year but went down to a strong outfit from Goroka. The women's Pennant title will be held at the end of the month in Port Moresby. And congratulations to Team Goroka for taking out the men's Pennant tournament. We look forward to seeing the women's Pennant tournament, which will be held here at the end of the month in Port Moresby. We move over to Rugby League, and after 15 years of absence in a semi-professional competition, Wagi Tumbo have successfully won their bid to compete in this year's Digisa Cup.
Put in a lot of requirements for new franchises to meet so that we don't get the franchise coming into the competition and flopping in the next year or two. And we want it to be a steady progress where there is play development parts, there is competitions locally that are being run, there is venues that are well crafted and look at meet the minimum requirements of the Digital Cup competition. And those are some of the factors that the board considered seriously. And I'm pleased to say that the Wagi Tumbo franchise has met all these requirements that were expected by the board. And I must say, add on to what the governor said, that I've inspected the field personally myself, and the venue, Minjong, was going to be one of the best. It's work in progress, as Donna said, they're still working on it, and it's going to be something that the people of Jiwaka and the islands are going to be proud of, and I won't be surprised when international matches are being called to be played up in that venue. So that's another thing that we should congratulate them on as well.
We have 14 teams who participate in the Governors Cup back in the province. So for every single position, we have about 14 players racing for each position, so we have more than enough. We can supply some players to other competitions. Currently, we have players playing in Chimbu, Wabek, Wickman, some in Ley, so we have more than enough players. Trial matches, we're getting people about 5,000, 6,000 running into the field. So we're expecting a very big crowd on the first game. To us, basically, it's not about winning or losing this year. We don't have any very high benchmarks. We've had a very successful competition over the last 2 years, local leagues and the Governors Cup. So we're pretty confident. Our local competition is quite tough because most of our players who have made their way out to other teams in the top 17 and are very competitive too. So, but there is no very high expectations. We're still at the development stages. So we'll run our teams through. But we'll be strong. We won't be weak.
In association with our sponsorship, I'm also a elite development unit sponsor of the Gold Coast Titans, and I have been for the last couple of years. This year we had one Jaikan boy in the Gold Coast squad. Coming year we will take 4 down. And in time that will then get into the Tweed Heads Queensland Cup side and an ongoing arrangement with the Gold Coast Titans. It's our belief that through Wagitumbe we're going to create the pathway for opportunities for a lot of Papua New Guinean kids. And to me that's a really exciting opportunity. There are a number of things we can do, and my boys are up there. They helped set up the Titans, so they're up there now helping set up ticketing, a lot of game day event management. We really want to make sure that this is a good start to a very, very, very good province. And we want to start the season off with a bang. So no better way than to announce that Wagitumbe side will have the first ever State of Origin player to run onto the field for their first game in 2 weeks' time. And for us, we thought that's exciting. I can't tell you how exciting the boys are to be playing with a Blues player. Being a Queenslander, I'm a little disappointed. Okay. But at this point, we're not going to get too fussy. But this guy has played, he's won an NRL grand final, he's played for 2 countries, he's played for the Blues, he scored the winning try in the first Blues match. So I believe he's going to be a massive addition to the Wagitumbe side. And as that, I think he's going to be a great addition to your competition. But I'm sure we're all going to really embrace it well.
We wish the Wagitumbos the best in this year's Digital Cup. Don't touch that dial. Up next, we preview round 11 of the Telikom National Soccer League. If you've just joined us, you're watching Hotspot. Last weekend in Port Moresby, Young Guns Besta United caused an upset when they beat defending champions Hekari 2-1. This weekend, they head over to Madang to take on Madang FC. Let's take a look at round 11 of the Telikom National Soccer League.
FC Port Moresby is coming off a bye and is hoping to secure a win in this weekend's match at the CIS Bomana in Port Moresby. Admiralty drew their last match against Oro and will also be seeking a win. This is set to be a good match. The last time these teams met, they put on a good show. And over in Ley at the Sir Ignatius Kilagi Stadium, Ley City dwellers are also coming out from a bye and will also play host to Oro FC. Dwellers will put on a good show with the home crowd backing them throughout the game. Oro will not disappoint as they will put up a good fight against Lane. Coming off a great win against defending champions Hekari in round 10 in Port Moresby, the Young Guns Besta FC will face Medang FC at the Leeuwarden Oval. This has boosted the team's morale and they are confident in going into this weekend's match. Medang, also with the home ground advantage, are certain to cause an upset. This will be a thriller to watch as supporters in Medang are set for a good match.
In round 1, the open mixed division teams Morgan Transport and Money Plus have won their matches with comfortable leads. In the open women's division, BSP, Money Plus and Transport also won their matches. In the open men's division, Transport 2, Parapella and Money Plus registered victories. In the senior mixed division, Transport and Ella Motors also won their games. The champions from last year's season in their respective division, Money Plus Open Mixed Division, BSP Open Women's Division, BSP again Open Mixed Division, Transport Masters Division, BSP Senior Mixed Division. These teams will be the teams to look out for in this season's competition. The round 3 of the Port Moresby Touch competition will see all teams in their respective division battle it off at the Murray Barracks Oval this weekend with a lot of flair and exciting footy.
Stay with us as we wrap up the show with our weekend draws. A reminder that if you'd like us to feature you on Hotspot or have us train with you on our special segment Get Involved, please shoot us an email on sports@emtv.com.pg, or if you're on Facebook, please check us out. And if you're in Port Moresby, drop by to second floor Garden City and ask for a very awesome sports team and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Now let's take a look at our weekend draws. Our weekend draws tomorrow night on round 6 of the NRL. Broncos will take on the Roosters at Suncorp Stadium, while the Sharks take on the Knights. And on Saturday night, the Eels will face the Titans, while the Warriors take on West Tigers at Mount Smart Stadium, and at Spotlight Stadium, Panthers will take on the Sea Eagles. The Green Machine will face the Storms this Sunday at GIO Stadium, while the Dragons take on the Bulldogs.
The Groy's a dummy half to Norman. Norman a big pass to Roger. He's done it again. First game of the year at Parramatta.
And wrapping up round 6 of the NRL, on Monday night, the Rabbitohs will face the Cowboys at ANZ Stadium. And on the local front, in round 11 of the Telikom National Soccer League this Saturday in Port Moresby at 2 p.m, coming off a bye, FC Port Moresby will face Admiralty FC. Over in Lae at the Sir Ignatius Kilagi Stadium at 1 p.m, Lae City Dwellers will take on OR FC. And in Medang at the Leeuwarden Oval, Medang FC will take on Besta United FC at 1 p.m. The Under-12 boys will kick off matches at 8 a.m. for Port Moresby Junior AFL competition, which enters round 2 at Murray Barracks this weekend. And despite the forfeits last week in round 1 of the Port Moresby Rugby League competition, round 2 also kicks off at Murray Barracks. We've come to the end of the show. Make sure to tune in on Monday night at 9 p.m. to catch all your sports results with Jeremy and Dion on Sports Scene, and join Lorraine for all your Pacific Games update on Road to Port Moresby 2015. Another great weekend of sports. We hope you do get out there and get involved. Until next time, play hard, play safe, and we'll catch you right here on Hotspot.